So, welcome to my video about creating a semi-floating boathouse. Now, the idea behind this is not to have to bother with a traditional boat cover. It's a bit of a faff. And to be able to drive the boat up the creek, straight into the boathouse, tie up, and then be able to take it back as you go. And not have to do all that kind of faffing around with taking on all the cover. So this is like my own little personal project. If it's of any help to you, the video that you're going to watch is going to sort of show you how I've made it. I made some mistakes along the way, but it'd be interesting to see how the thing stands up. Now, I haven't actually finished the cover. As you can see, it's a bit sort of skew-if, and it needs tying down properly, but I'm waiting for some nice black rope to arrive from Amazon. I've just come down here and have a look. Just put this up this morning. You can see how tidal it is here, and the great benefit of having these black water main pipes, which are 50mm pipes, is that there's real flexibility there. So as the water level goes up and down, the float on the other side of the rib there goes up and down, and these flex with the tide. So that was my idea. I'm amazing, I know. Anyway, there we have it. So I'm going to get down into the boat now. Okay, so this is my project to build a floating boathouse. Now, effectively, I bought two lengths of 160mm soil pipe. They came in two 6-metre lengths. I've cut them down to 4.5-metre lengths, because the little boat that we're wanting to cover is about 4.3 meters long. So these are the pipes. Now, the actual hoop part, the roof, well, that's going to be made up of these black MDPE water pipes. These are 50mm water pipes. I've cut them into lengths. Now, I got 25 meters of this. I made a slight mistake. In that I cut one at 5 meters long, and it was just slightly too low for the A-frame of my boat to go through there. So I've made the others slightly longer at 6 meters. So I'll have 3 6-meter hoops and one 5-meter hoop, which it won't really matter. It'll look fine. The great thing is, if you cut them a bit longer and you find that it's a bit too tall, well, then you're able to redo it. So I've cut the pipes. I haven't fitted these on yet with glue, but these are the end pieces. Don't use push fit fittings on the ends of these pipes. I've tested them and they leak, so you've got to be able to have fittings that glue on. These are just end caps that glue on. The black MDP pipe, the hoops, these are going to strap in basically into these Jubilee clips here, which I've got set all the way along this pipe here. As you can see, that's done. These are stainless steel Jubilee clips, heavy duty ones. I would recommend using proper Jubilee clips that are stainless steel, so they don't rust. Now, the other part of the plan is, once I've got the hoops up, I'll then be using these lengths of battening to effectively go between the hoops and hold them together. I'll be attaching those on the insides of the hoops, so that when I throw the tarpaulin over the top, they won't be causing any friction and abrasion of the top. So this is how far I've got so far. The next job now is for me to secure on the Jubilee clips on the side of this pipe here, and then we're going to see if we can get it put together in the garden and see how it looks. So I'll get back to you shortly. So here I am bending the pipe with the help of a tree. The idea is to get the sides quite straight up to about 1.5 meters, and then the curve starts, and that's so that you don't get it kind of turning into a circle and kind of bulging out and losing height, which means if you've got a bar or a console or something on your boat, a light bar, you'll be able to get it inside it without it hitting. And also this looks nicer as well. So I'm also popping these liners in to the ends of the hoops to give a little bit more strength at the bottom when I put the Jubilee clips around. I mean, it's pretty strong stuff. It's probably not that necessary actually, but it's just the belt and braces that I'm doing. Okay, so our boat cover. This is just a sort of a mock trial pushing together in the garden. One of the issues is to stop these wobbling. So we've got some braces there, and then you can see how we've done this. Screwed together a second piece of wood onto the batten, so we've got battens going in between as well as across. You can see that, and that has actually given the structure a bit more rigidity. Now on this side here, we were going to, if you remember, we were going to have two pontoons, and it was going to be completely floating. There's the other one in there with the Jubilee clips fitted. But in actual fact, you'll see when we take it down to the boat later on that these ends here are actually going to be attached to our jetty, which will make it much easier. And then because these hoops are flexible, these will kind of bend up and down with the tide. And the idea is then that as the tide falls and rises, it will still be able to cover the boat with the same amount of space. So there we have it. On to the next bit. So this is the way I'm going to be fixing it to the poly pipe. Obviously this end is coming off. I did an experiment to see whether a push fitting would be watertight when I put it in a big bucket and held it down for a night with a couple of bricks, but it really wasn't. So I'm going to have an end cap that I'm going to glue in. So I'll be chopping it off and shortening this pipe anyway, since it's too long for my boat. But you can see the way I'm fixing it on here with a large high torque stainless steel Jubilee clip, an original Jubilee clip, and the same goes for here as well. The Jubilee clips are looped together, and that actually, once that's all tightened up, it's really quite secure. So it's about 7:30 in the morning, and this is the morning when I'm actually going to attempt to assemble this now semi-floating boathouse stroke cover on my jetty there, and over the boat. So this is what it looks like beforehand. Some ducks there having a bit of fun. There it is, and then we shall see what it looks like once we've got the frame up. Actually, just thought I'd show you all the stuff loaded up into the car. So this is the float, as you can see, with Jubilee clips. This clip here is to attach through to the jetty, and these are the clips along here which are going to hold these black hoops. So there it is all in the car. A bit of timber battening as well. I'll show you how all that goes together. Right, so here we are then, just by the jetty. There's my son there tightening these in. So we've got scaffolding fixings, as you can see there, and it's fixed on. The next thing is to get the hoops lined up and then get the float in the water. Wow, exciting. Right, as you can see, we're in the little boat. This is it so far. We've only got one batten on, but you can see the shape of it. And obviously the tarpaulin goes over the edge. Over the top, I mean. Whatever. Right, so here you can see with my eager helper, we've got all 4 hoops up. We've attached it to the deck, as you can see. It's attached on with scaffolding clamps onto lengths of scaffolding pipe, and the float is in the water and the hoops are attached to the float. So now we're pushing another bashing on, and then I think it'll be time to see if we can fit the cover. Okay, so hopefully you can see the idea behind this. You can see the tarpaulin is not coming right the way over the edge on this side, so we can get on and off the boat. The idea is just to try to keep all the leaves off these lovely trees pretty much out of the boat, and keep the water out. Obviously that tarpaulin needs a bit more fishing, but the boat sits in there really well. In actual fact, I've got plenty of length there for this little 4.3 metre boat, because it is actually, the structure is actually 4.5 metres long. So I'm just going to fiddle around with the ropes, because the boat used to sit on this pontoon the other way around, facing downstream. So there we have it. That's as far as I've got so far. One thing I just wanted to draw attention to, and I've mentioned it a few times, and this is the bashings that I put on. And you'll see how these bashings, they're basically one long batten, which is about 4.5 metres long. And then I've used another bashing and screwed it from this side in on each end of these. And these fit in between these pipes here. And what it does basically is it goes around the pipe and just holds it secure. So I've got one here, I need one more, so I need to buy 2 more lengths of bashing, and I'm going to put the other bashing up on the roof up here. As you can see, there's lots of headroom. I mean, obviously this is really tidal, but for me to be able to just jump onto the boat and to zoom off and then to zoom back in again without having to faff around with a cover, it's absolutely fantastic. So there we go, tremendously excited with this. I'm going to put on the video a little bit about what materials I used, and it's going to be quite amateurish, this video, but at least you'll be able to get the gist of what I've tried to do. If it's of help to you and helps you with your fabulous boathouse that I'm sure you'll create, I'm delighted. I'd love to see some photographs. If you like it, please like the video. You might want to subscribe. It's my first video, but let's see what else I do. But if you want to private message me and show me what you've made, I'd love to see it.